What's up? It's Thursday. We're back. What are we looking at? This is Cloud. Cloud code. We're going to be coding today using Claude. Just like yesterday. Yesterday was our first time using Claude on stream. I only used it like one other time off stream. So today we're going to be tackling a couple more features that I want to put in Switchball Deluxe. And we're going to have Claude do the work. We're going to review the work. And there'll probably need to be some revisions and things along the way, especially for the second feature that we're going to be doing, which is a tutorial. The first thing that I want to do is consistently being able to render video, usually from MP4, but I'm guessing it could be from a .mov file in the game. So this is something I had trouble with before, and I want to be able to render video. So we're going to open up Visual Studio here, and I'm just going to close. We're just going to close all these classes right now. And where the video will likely be rendered is in the hood, because the videos that I want to render today are going to be in the background. So I'm just going to start up the game and give context for where we want this video to be. Going to boot up the old game. Alright, so here's the game. So right here, video. So the places that I want video to be are anywhere where we have stock photo. I want stock video or just recorded video rather than stock. So here for fossil fuels, you know, we have this kind of this fire explosion factory stock image going. I want that to be video of something like within a fossil fuel plant. Here for windmills, instead of having a static image of windmills here, I want them to be moving. And then when we go in the level itself, see I have a different image of windmills, and I want that to be a video. So in essence, when we're done with the game, I mean, there could be numerous ones that could load. Maybe it's random. Maybe like the first 8 levels are one video, and the last 8 videos, or last 8 levels are another video. Maybe the boss is its own video that plays in the background. But either way, each of these stock images, which are pretty cool stock images that I was able to find, I want there to be video instead. Now, having a nice video that I can purchase, or that we can research, or that we can even take ourselves, that's going to be a little bit challenging. But that's what I want. And I want to see how it looks. And then, you know, if we decide that it doesn't look very good, we can always revert it and use images. But part of this is I need to get this done before I can really update the UI. Because all the UI is text, like the white text, basically anywhere there's white text, that will need to change based off of the background, so it's easy to see. White's often pretty decent, but some places like the geothermal, you know, if you have a cloud or something like that in the sky, you know, it's hard to see the white against it. So that's the first thing we want to do, is be able to render video on a loop in the background. And then the second thing is we're going to be creating a tutorial that we can access from the main menu. So here in the main menu, we have adventure mode, gauntlet mode, options, and quit. Very straightforward, simple. Either straight from here, we would have a tutorial, or maybe the very first time you open up adventure mode, there'd be a little tutorial. Tutorial very short, in terms of a couple screens, maybe screenshots showing you the basic mechanics of the game. Maybe again, if we figure out how to do the video, then I could show a video of the game being played instead. By the way, this title screen, this background, ignoring the switchblades in the front, this is the only piece of AI art that is in the game, which I think looks really cool. I really enjoy it, but we'll have to get some actual art. Maybe it'll look like this just because it's inspired by this. I think it's really neat. Hey, look, it's 2026, not 2025. I don't like lyrics in my smooth jazz. I know it's already been going for a little bit, but skip. So that's what we're going to do today. So how are we going to do it? So here in the hood, this is where we're rendering the images in the background. So can I find, just by scrolling, where it's doing that? Yeah, right here, these backgrounds, background shade. So these are quote unquote shades, I think. No, this is actually the shade of the, what's it called? The shade of the pipes that like surround the background, that actually changes color based on your color. There is something here called play video that's not working. So you can see, are there any references to play video? And if I go to find all references, and you'll see at the bottom, nothing. But if we do a control find, I think I just commented it out. Yeah, right here. So you can see I used to have a video that would play. Not right now. So it is updating the shade based on the background. Where is the... You know, I could just ask Claude to do it, but it's these guys right here. See this fossil fuels background, solar background? This is the stuff that's appearing within the stage itself. So let's just look for fossil fuels background. Here he goes. Draw behind all objects. So this method is being called because we do it this call first to draw behind all objects to do the background, and then we're drawing everything in front of it. And based on the stage that you're at, we're drawing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a pretty detailed prompt together and say, hey, in this method, draw behind all objects, I actually want to render video. And rather than just draw this, I wanted to do it on a loop and see what it comes up with. Because I've tried to do video before. As you saw there, I had a video method. We'll see how it can expand on it, and we're probably gonna have to do some iterations here. Now, when you're doing prompts, I would suggest that you always do it outside of any given like editor, because if you accidentally press enter, it's going to start doing stuff without context. There might be like an alt enter to create you know, prompts outside of that, but so that you don't press enter. But we're just going to do it here. I'm just putting our prompts in here just as easy access. And this is also going to be in a new session. So over here in the left sidebar, we have different sessions that are going. Each of these have our own context of conversation. However, the overall context is in an MD file. This is basically a file that when Claude looked at the whole project and understood the architecture, it created a bunch of stuff so that every time it starts a new session, which is going to be a new branch or a new clone of the project to begin working on, it's going to have knowledge of that. So it's not going to have to relearn everything every single time it does it. So anywho, let's go ahead and write up our prompt here. There it is. It's going to say, currently in the level, in the hood class, the background image, which is a stock image, changes depending on the world that you are in. This is done in the method, and a copy over our method. Draw behind all objects. Instead of rendering images, though, I want to have a looping video. In the past, I've tried to render videos, but often they would crash or not loop. These videos won't have any sound. They will be cool real life videos that contrast with the pixel art front. For example, I could have I could have an actual fossil fuels plant. Or a fictional wormhole. You'll see in the hood and also in the opening game cutscene that there are places that the video has already been tried and sort of works. Like game loads. However, it's not consistent. I need something always consistent. You can, all right, what's the video file that I had in there? The video file that was in content was this one. You can use this and that as the test to run in the background. Once this is working, I'll extend it to other videos. So step one is to get video consistently running. And step two is to modify methods to switch between videos depending on the world that you're in. But lastly, you'll see that images also change the background in the adventure menu. We'll want to do something similar there. All right, so there's our our detailed instructions. The more instructions you can give, the better. So there it all is. So you want to be as explicit with what content and methods that already exist, so it knows where to go, what you want it to do, and then just let it go. So this is going to be our prompt that we're going to start with, and then we're going to work off of that. So let's copy the whole thing. We're going to create a new session, and we're just going to slap this guy in. I'll move this a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. And just go boom. And then it do be thinking. I'm going to move this up here so you can see this at the bottom. Here you can choose what model you're using. By default, it uses Sonnet. I think each of these models does something slightly better. We could ask it which model is the best for it. I think Sonnet is the default. You can also choose the effort level. This says how many tokens and stuff it's going to be inputting for the task. And for our sake, we're just doing medium right now. This kind of works for us. Often it's going to be doing things like this, like, hey, I want to be able to run certain things like this. But right now it's saying, hey, I want to create a new work tree, and we'll say, yeah, sure, go for it. It also creates things like agents that go and do different work. So they have an agent here exploring the hood, rendering the code, exploring the code base to see how I've done it already. And then we just let it go. So depending on the task, it could take 1.5 minutes, or it could take 20 minutes. For this, I think this will be somewhat straightforward. I think this will just take a few minutes. It's looking at the hood. It's looking at the menu. It's taking a look at the code. It's looking explicitly at the areas that I told it to look. And then as needed, it'll know, oh, wait a second. We can look at classes that are related to those things. And eventually, if we bring up this is Upbeat. This is what I use to play music on stream. Upbeat, along with a ton of other places, has like stock video. Yesterday we were starting to look at examples of like stock video of like geothermal stuff. Upbeat doesn't have a ton of selection. We'll probably have to select other video. I also noted that it'd be fun if I could get my own video if I went out and like took video on my phone. Or like if I knew people that could like send me in video. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta support people who went to a cool place. Like this place has Icelandic landscapes. Unfortunately, this is barely moving. You can't even tell this is a video right now. But if we want to do something like, I don't know, wind power, windmills. Like that's a really common one to have. But like something like this. You know, kind of a loop. It's not bad. Something like that. All right, it's still doing stuff. We'll go back. And then what's another world that we have? Yeah, you want to do like inside a power plant. See, most views are not gonna have that. They're just gonna have like some like drone, some drone footage. It's like, oh cool, yeah, it's an aerial view of a solar power plant. You know. Oh look, it's doing great. Move this down. So what did it do thus far? So here's the plan. Step 1. Create a looping video player wrapping class that uses monogame's is looping true and safely handles get texture. So I think I've tried that stuff before. We'll see how it works. We're going to modify the hood to replace the dead video fields with this. And render the video frame here. Cool. And do the same for that. Good. The is looping is the key fix. You know, pretty sure I tried that, but maybe I didn't. So it's updating hood. We already have imported, which is this media right there. Fixing load content, dead video code, add the method, update this class, updating the adventure menu. And then do a sanity check. And then we'll read through this and we're going to look at we're going to look to see what it did. So here it's a little summary. So they have a new looping video player. The core fix wraps Monogame's video player with looping true and no volume. Play is idempotent. It skips this if the same video is already running. Great. Hood replace the 3 dead with a single private. Adds a update. Tries get texture. Added this. Great. And then here, adventure menu, same pattern, looping video player, calls update and draw. To add a new world's video later, just add a case for both the hood and that, where you could, you know, do what we did before, like a case statement. So let's take a look at these updates. So how are we going to look at these updates? Well, you can, in here, you can actually click here, and you can see what it did at each of them. As it went along, it's noting what updates did. Cool. If we want to see all the updates at once, we're going to have to take a look at the code itself via Git. So we're going to go to our project. We're going to go in the Claude folder, enter its work trees. It created this new one right here. And I'm going to right click on it. And we're going to do show log. We're going to go to the working tree changes up at the top. And here we can see the files that it changed. We got the hood class that it updated. We got the adventure menu. And here is a new class that it put in video transitions, which is great. Now, if we want to look at all the updates here, I could right click, do a compare with base. This is pulling up a new thing called WinMerge, which I'll show. It's a little bit small. Let's try to make it bigger. ish. Good enough. And on the sidebar here, you can see there's diffs wherever there is yellow. So if we scroll down, you can see the sections that it changed. So here we had a commented out section, and now it has its method update background video. At the top, we can see, hey, our video player is now this new kind of looping video player. We can see where it put in the new looping video player instead of the stuff we had before. Go all the way to the bottom. You can see how it changed each of our methods here. It said, hey, if video frame is not null, go ahead and do the video frame. Otherwise, continue doing your image stuff, which is great. And then down here, it created a couple new methods. It has this get video path for world level attributes where we can put in more, and this update background video method. So that all looks pretty good. We're going to go to the adventure menu and see how it did it over there too. And here I think it's doing something similar. It needed to use the media. And again, it's adding the looping video player here as a private. Creates a new instance of it and load content. Has a couple methods for it. And at the bottom, it modified it. It looks really straightforward. This is kind of why I thought it would be easy to do. And that's all it did. And this is the new class that it added to. So looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and commit that here. So I'm just going to go ahead and commit it. We're going to say video looping video player implementation. Claude updates. And we'll add that too. Great. Okay, so that's up to date, and we want to merge that into our current working branch. So we're going to go back to our branch right here, and we are going to run a merge. And here we're going to select the Claude branch that we have, this new one. It's called Vibrant Yellow. Ooh. And let's click OK. And you can see it merged in the updates. Very good. Now if we go back to Visual Studio. Poof. There it is. We have our new background video player running get texture. It says if it's not null, we're going to go ahead and draw that. And it's going to be drawing it to the same location. Fantastic. Now we are getting some red squigglies. So we need to see, why are we getting red squigglies? Oh, it's because this stuff doesn't exist anymore. So it didn't clean up the old methods. So we need to get rid of our old methods here. As you can see, it doesn't do everything perfect. It doesn't know what a looping video player is. That's because in our project over here, it created a new class, and we need to include that in our project. So I think it went over here to video transitions, and see we can see looping video player right here. We just need to say include in project. We can take a look at the looping video player. Here it's expecting a thing called is looping because it's using media. Currently that is not a thing, so we're going to have to take a look at that. And it has a simple play loop, a stop, and a get texture. Very simple. So we're going to look at this in a second. Yeah, is looping. video player doesn't have an is looping. That's interesting. Let's also take a look at our adventure menu, which I'm sure has some errors too. Nah? Let's go ahead and open that up. This is where the other updates were made. And we'll go to the bottom. It's right here. All right, so all this looks good. So the only error is that we don't see an is looping. That's not great. Maybe that's why I tried to do what I tried to do. Is that there is no is looping. So if we look at video player, let's see if we can see the details of it. This is decompiled. We have is looped. So instead of is looping, it has something called is looped. All right, so it was close. It's called is looped, not is looping. Womp womp. So we'll go back here. Instead of saying is looped, or is looping, it's is looped. And I think that's it. We'll give this a try. So you saw we did have to make a couple updates. That's all good. Now the idea is that if we go to fossil fuels, we are going to see video. Otherwise we won't, I think. Is that correct? Let's go down to it again. Video frame. Get texture. Wait, did it put in anything? Let's go back here. Background video player dot play. Oopsie. Black screen. Dot play. Wait, did it put it in or do I need to put it in? Update background video. Oopsie. Control find. Update background video. Get video path for world. Return video that this. Or it doesn't even use the MP4. Interesting. Alright, where is this being called? Update background video. Okay. And it's saying if we have, and this is getting the video, and it's playing the video. So in our draw method, which is right Right. Should probably put like a click thing to go to it instead of just scrolling. We're dizzy. There it is. Draw behind all objects. It says, hey, if it's running, i.e. there's a texture, go ahead and draw it. Otherwise, do this. Okay. Let's try it out. Again, you get an error right away. The method or operation is not implemented. What? New looping video player. Is looped? Wait, the method or operations? What do you mean? No, we have to think. No, fix it for me. Whoa, look, I have 2 things now. Ooh, cool. Let's take a look at looped again. Return is looped. Let's give Claude this error. See what Claude says. The method or operation is not implemented. Oop. Let's close VS so you guys see what I'm doing. I'm getting the following error on the line of is what's it called? Player is looped equals true. Player dot. When the video player is being initialized. Knew that I had to change it to is looped as is looping wasn't correct property. This is happening straight away when the game loads. Let's see what it says. Man, my nose is itchy. I always have itchy nose. Itchy nose, not good for streamer. The is looped setter isn't implemented. Oh. In this version of monogame. But looping will still work correctly, though the existing play logic. Since play is called every frame, when the video finishes. Oh, it's just removing it. Interesting. So it's just removing is looped equals true. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see. Do one of these. Let's see what happens. There it is. Takes a little while to appear. Ah, can't find my file, eh? Video slash etc. Why not? Let's look at our content path. You're not seeing Visual Studio here. It's here. If I do this, does it work? You see the black screen of death. There it is. So we're getting a nice little exception here. You could see it when it first loaded. Now that I moved it, you can't. It basically says this content path is wrong. It's in content, video. Okay. So let's go to our hood. And we're going to go to our method. Update. Let's go to it here. Get video path. It thinks it's just in video. I think the problem is it needs MP4. Like we need to explicitly say MP4. If not, I'm surprised that it wouldn't work because this is the internal content path. We'll see if that works. Otherwise, we'll have to put in content. Trial and error. Trial and error. Same error. It says, I can't find that. Lies. Deceit. There you go. And maybe we'll take out the MP4 too. I didn't know it's in the content folder. Again. Nope. Same error. It's right there. I'll tell you what. Shirley. My name ain't Shirley. Come on. Yeah. Cannot find the file specified. Content. Path. Video. I didn't pass that in. Oh, it's doing it from the adventure menu. I was updating the hood. I think this has the same method. Where is it? Oh my goodness. There we go. This is where I was saying the adventure menu. I was changing it here. Eventually we'll have different videos in each place too. Let's try that. This is usual coding. Trial and error. Boop. Oh. What does it say now? The content file was not found. What? Bro. Directory not found. Oh. It was smart. It's not supposed to put content. It knew it was correct. It's like this. I think it just needed MP4. Let's try that. Now we're just getting a path wrong. Oh my gosh. We might not be moving on to the tutorial today. Told you this wasn't easy. Whoa, same thing. Could not find beam content video .xmb. Bro. Why is this struggling so hard? Alright, let's do a little, this is the same exact thing it was before. See, what's weird is, it's not finding it. But then when I put an MP4, like this, then it came up with a different path. Why? Why are you the way that you are? See, here it says cannot find bin debug blah 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 blah. It's because it's not in here. What? Yeah, these are old videos. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna send it this. We'll ask it more clarifying questions here. Getting this error. No, I'm not. No, I thought I copied it. goodness. Let's get it again. Copy. I changed it to MP4 because it was getting a generic file not found when looking in the bin folder. I didn't see any of the updated video files. Is it looking in the wrong place? Why is it looking in instead of the core content directory? Yes. It can do the hard thing, and then we struggle on paths. Oh, we're gonna see this video. How you guys doing? Please revert it. What are you doing? And then look, I try to do something, computer. The real problem, the MGCB file has the video entries, but the monogame content builder hasn't actually run to compile them into XMB files. Ah, yes. Now it's looking at my project file to see what else I did wrong. Now, I haven't run the content pipeline builder in a little while, but when I was building files, maybe I just didn't select those files to be built. I'll wait until it's done. Well, no, let me open it up. I'll open up the pipeline. I can show. Yeah, sure. I gotta show this too. Okay. Pipeline. Here's the monogame pipeline tool. You can see in the monogame pipeline tool we have video. They're present right here. You can see here are the videos that we have. It's a little bit small. You can see that these are built on build. You're supposed to build them. This is the type of processor it is, video. You can see we also have our sprite sheets in here. This is where we have music. The music is actually running through these bank files for fmod. Got some font files. All right, what's it saying? The XMB files are already built and present in bin. No, they're not. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The path just needs to drop the extension. Trust me. Trust me. It doesn't work. It's so confident. You know how much I always want to say, nah, bruh. If we go back here and say this, it thinks it's present, which is funny. We proved by looking, because what it did, by the way, if we scroll here, it said, hey, it looked and found these things in bin. But when we went over there, we went in bin, in content, in video, and I don't see them. Those, one sec. Also, our music stopped. Womp womp. It's gonna go back and forth. Nuh-uh. Meanwhile, what's next? What are we feeling? Jazz rumble. How about some classical? Yeah, go ahead and take a look. Sure. Sure, go. Do your thing. I'm finding music. Music. Robots don't need music. Classical. Classical fairy tale. What else we got here? Quirky classical. What? How much more do you want from me? Yeah, sure. Quirky. Yeah. Quirky classical. Charming piano pieces with a cheeky twist. I like how they suggest what you're supposed to be using them for. Perfect for adding a dash of Wes Anderson to lighthearted moments, quirky clips, and comedic capers. Sure. Oh, there we go. I can see the full picture. The source file exists in content, and its MBC file is correct. It just hasn't been compiled. To do a clean rebuild all. This forces the Monday Game Content Builder to reprocess all of them, including the coal file. If it still doesn't reappeal, check the build output window. View output. Is this louder for you too? Moderately. Cool. Also make sure the path is... I know, blah, 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 blah. It's not an MP4, you little... Alright. Let's go back to Visual Studio. So we are going to clean solution and rebuild all. It's building it all. Did it actually rebuild it? It did skip that stuff. Interesting. I don't think that'll work. I might need to rebuild the monogame thing too. Yeah. So if I go to this pipeline right here, these say build action build. So if I go to build, oh, look at all those saves that are down there. It says skipping this MP4 file. Interesting. Just keep clicking the button. Just keep trying. Explosions! Alright, what did it suggest us to do? If it still doesn't appear, check the build output window. View output. So if I go over in Visual Studio, over to here, properties. Content, do not copy. Is that true for sprite sheets as well? Yeah, because this is supposed to be done in the MBG file. But here, what is it saying? Check the build output window. View output. View. Where is output? Output. I'm looking at output literally right here. It's selected. What do you want me to do? Change drop down to build for any MBGC errors. Now it's skipping them. Blah, 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 blah. Let's try it again. right here we have video. All right, we're gonna have to say this. In the monogame pipeline tool, these were built in. Yeah, let's see if we can explain it. And then maybe it'll give us some more advice. In the mono game pipeline tool, these videos were properly built in. I cleaned and rebuilt the solution, and bin is not changing. Seems like the problem is that bin is not getting updated with what is accurately being present, well, actually present in the pipeline. Because if we look here in our pipeline tool, we can see they're all properly here. If we go to Visual Studio and we go to our project settings, that's not what we wanted. File. Bro. Yeah, go for it. I knew something like this was going to happen. Where bin here, you see it in here in the content folder, right? We see it. But in our solution, it shows this old stuff. Look how old this stuff is. The last time this was built was a year ago, it says 4/17/2025. It's asking for permission. All right, it's doing some debugging on because our pipeline, so you can see here we're showing a Fire Explorer. In debug here, you can see that this stuff is from 4/17. This is like a year ago. So whatever is doing bin here in our debug where it's finding it is old and it's not getting refreshed. Bin is something that, you know, every time we rebuild, you would think this would get updated. It's not. I'm allowing it to do stuff. Use project. Look in the project files. It's using PowerShell. If we go here, what I'm looking for is our project settings. But the thing is, I think these project settings are not in shared. It might be the, because if I go to properties here, this isn't what I want. This is just a dependency on Windows. So I might have to look at the Windows project rather than this shared property. So it should be like project properties. But what about... It's not the settings I was expecting. It's trying. Because there's something that should say like when you're building something, where is it exported to? And like, are you doing a release or are you doing a debug? Is this the one? This is just showing you what you can do. Yield. Nah. Where is it? Hmm. I don't know, not know. Sucks that you can't see these drop-down menus when I select this. You can't see what I'm looking at. Sure, go for it. Dot project items? What are you talking about, Willis? Oh. Okay. It thinks it has the full picture. So this switchball one has it. This old executable in the shared bin folder is stale. This exe is not being rebuilt. It is currently shared as a stale artifact from the previous build setup. That is true. There are two things to fix right now. First, this is mixing project items. I included that in the project though, which is weird that it's not in it. Usually you're not supposed to save stuff in project items. You're just supposed to use, you know, Visual Studio to do it. The fastest fix is to manual copy it to shared bin so it can find it. Oh. I mean, it would compile. It was confused about that. X and B manually copied. The long-term question is what produces the executable blisterlight, which is the code that this is based off of, which I did more than a year ago. If you had more video XPs, you'll need copies over the same way until blisterlight build is sorted out. Well, let's see if it's present. Did it do the thing? It did. It slapped it in there. It just threw it in there. So when we did releases and debugs for Blisterblight, which is the game this is the code base, this was cloned from and then built off of to create a different game because we used a lot of the same collision and other stuff. And was kind of a basis for it, especially the level editor was the big thing. It was creating release of bins and executables. So it was like, hey, the current way this is working is it was running Blisterblight and etc. So I'll probably take a look at that on my own. I think, again, it's because we're running it from the shared folder and the solution is built off of different projects. So I think in the shared folder, when it's was being built as an executable, um, it was doing it somewhere else. So I think that's kind of broken. Any case, I'm not even gonna ignore. I'm gonna ignore this project items thing. It thinks it's not present, but it is. We included it in our project here. In fact, actually, I forgot over here. I can look at Windows. What if I open up project properties here? This is what I was looking for. This is the menu. Build. Optimize code. Oh, for release. That's probably it too. Because we're not trying to create release versions right now. So I bet in our release, you know what? If we look in our release, is our release getting updated? So if we go to release, I have a release, Josh. Let's take a look at our release. No, this also says the old stuff. What is in release, Josh? Papa. That sort of doesn't really matter then. At the moment. Allow publishing. You know, I might look at this again on my own. Because if we know it just needs to be in that path right now, we can just see if the video works. And then this is something we'll need to figure out, of course, when this actually gets released and creates, you know, versions of it to put on Steam and everywhere else. But right now it's not building and putting stuff in the right place. So I'll figure that out. Any case, see if it works. All right, so if I press enter, what happened? The same thing. Are you kidding me right now? Video slash. All right, let's look in content. Root directory. We need to hide the game for you to see this. Content. Of course, you can't look in here. I'm getting real close. Hello. Text is so tiny. It's just not loading it. GameState.instance.content. I'll look something up. See, other places where it does this. This is how it loads content. Content manager dot load. See how this is so different? With how it loads a type of thing. And then see how in the video player is it doing the something similar? Dot load. I guess it is trying to load video and the content. Alright, it's similar. But it doesn't exist. Where is this? Here. Game state dot instance dot content. And yes, as it says, it should look like this. As you can see, we have a bunch of different like sprite sheets and stuff it's loading. And then it's utterly failing when it gets to the video. Equals content. Content root directory. You know, we're gonna have to do this. What is our content root directory? Just says content. that's so unhelpful. Why is the call stack over here? This is weird. Why is all this stuff way over here? That's not supposed to be like that. What happened? This is supposed to be down here. Why are you the way that you are? Oh, because I moved it to another window. Yeah. Debugging. I love it. Just let it break again. But if we look in the content folder here, all it has, it doesn't even have any video at all. Because it fails to load in this path. So that sucks. We're gonna need to figure this out. What else can we ask it? Where else can we have it look in our project to figure this out? We're gonna need to talk to our AI friend and try to be more detailed. This was not the thing that I thought would be a problem, was finding a file. I thought the issue was going to be when it tries to render it. But this is something we were going to have to address eventually, was being able to create a new project that can be compiled and released and packaged. And we're just hitting it now. It's got to be before early 2025 too. How can I'm going to need to new versions of this Switchball Deluxe game. Anyway, how about we go about creating new debug and releases of all of the current assets. Once this is resolved, and we can refresh bin with accurate current releases, then with finding any content in bin will also be resolved. Sounds good to me, right? Let's figure out how we can create a release or debug instance of the project, and if we can do that, then when we're referring to content within that, it'll always work. What's weird is, like, we can do sprite sheet updates and we can do font updates, and I never have this problem. The fonts and all those things get referred to in such a way where they're not looking at that path. So there's something weird going on where the paths are being not found. Good call. Let's establish a complete canonical build. Good call. Thank you. I thought so too. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, it's not a big deal. We're not going to lose anything. Silly faces. So there are some videos when I was first working on Blister Blight, the action platformer. I was messing with video, and I just created the really silly little tiny videos that I could display in the game. And this is probably 2020, maybe, when I was working on this stuff, when I was first doing this stuff. Well, I started working on Blister Blight in 2018. So this could have been 2018, 2019. And I like that those sorts of things are being referenced. They're like, we need to bring in the silly faces. No, we don't. Fine, it doesn't matter, bro. It's who cares? It sees them. So the idea behind these little faces that it was finding was that depending on your actions and what choices you would make, different stuff would happen. So I had like a negative face, a neutral face. And now it's looking at all this old Blister Blight stuff to be like, hey, we don't want to lose it. And I'm like, don't worry, it's in a completely different project. And it's okay. It's not a big deal. Yeah, good. The only thing is we see these silly faces. Please let me do it. Okay. You're welcome. Sure. What's interesting is how it's trying to do stuff in monogame, just directly adding it to the content MGCB file, which itself is a file that gets built whenever you build stuff via the pipeline. So whatever it's doing might get overwritten anyway, but just let it do its thing. The big thing we're trying to do here is to be able to rebuild and actually get debug and release projects. Sure, go for it. By the way, I did a ton of stuff that it expects me to copy over. I'm not going to do it. It's doing all this stuff in its own little folder for content. I don't care about any of these spaces or any of this stuff, so we're just going to do this. Let's move this down a little bit. Oop, this is what we're going to be doing. Oh, my music was so short. Oh, never mind. It's running. That's weird. Why is the end of this song so silent? I don't know. In the Windows project, in Solution Explorer, right-click on the Windows project, set as startup. But don't we need to run from shared? Like if we're here... Oh, no, we are running in Windows. Dur. Shared is just, yep. Alright, let's follow its instructions, as I think is what we're trying to do. We are going to... It already is the setup project. Configuration, debug, build, clean solution, rebuild. Oh, we were cleaning the shared. We weren't cleaning the actual release. Wait a second. Is that it? So when we were rebuilding, we were right-clicking on shared up here. Is it just here? If I just clean... And then here, I rebuild... Or here, debug... No. Rebuild. Where else is it telling us to go? Configuration debug. Properties. Nah. Let's see if that worked. We'll know if it worked if we go here and we actually see stuff change. It did not. It still has all our blister blight stuff. By the way, this music, it's a little quirky. For those who've stuck around. Everything's in place. Windows project is a startup, yes. Configuration drop-down debug. Build, clean, build, rebuild. Bro. I'm right up here. I've been doing this the whole time. Clean. Properties. Oh, this is so quirky. Build. Rebuild. And it's skipping all the content. But that shouldn't matter. The big thing is that in rebuilding Windows, it's not actually well, is it? Let's go in Windows instead. Dude, this is old AF. Is it in here? I see this here. But shouldn't it be completely refreshed? Like, I see old. Because the thing about the Windows is that Windows is supposed to go to shared. And here in bin, we do have the Switchball Deluxe one right here. Or application. I'm not changing anything on stream until this breaks again. This is ridiculous. All right, we're gonna need it to do more. Because right now, did it update? It did, no, it did update this. You can see it says exe. The DLL was updated right here. The content is still not found. Just keep at it. Just do this so you can see what I'm writing. I'm still getting. So first, I just heard that. It sounded like the. It sounded like a little bit like some Super Mario Galaxy going on here. Trying to sneak in a little tunes there. There are still, how do I want to say it? Yeah, I must have copied this over a while ago. CSS 415 or 4. Yeah, this was when I was probably testing this back then. Different projects. I need to figure this out. I have a little bit of desperation in the tone. What else was I gonna note? Oh, we didn't try to create a release version of it. So up here, we can go here. Instead of debug, we can do release. And then we can do a rebuild for release. And we can see if it created a release one in here. It did. Look at that. So this is everything it currently sees. So that's something. You can also do the configuration manager. It's just saying that it's very basic stuff. just keep giving it stuff. Who knew this stream was just gonna be the Hey, I can't find this file name, and yeah. See, when you use tools, tools aren't just going to magically make it go away. This is also something where again, the more that you write, the more info you can give it, the better it will have at understanding what to fix. Because right now it's like, still not finding the file. You do need to have different projects. What do we do now? The goal is that I'll just be able to create different versions and then package them together and just have all the stuff there. It's weird to me that video, though, is something that, again, is problematic. Our pipeline right here, where is our pipeline going to? Pipeline is connected to the shared folder. So our content pipeline is going to the shared folder because this is content that should be shared across all directories. That's why oh, look at, it's a different thing. See, I told it that it needed the MP4. It didn't believe me. It's learning. So, I know it's scrolling a little too fast here. It says, hey, when you press play, the Foundation tries to open the MP4 file at runtime. This is why the old shared bin had both the MP4 and the XMB. The MP4 must be physically alongside the XMB for it to decode it. The fix is to explicitly copy entries for every MP4 in that. Copy directives are written into the build manifest, which forces the content builder to include them in the project bin. Cool. Now do a clean rebuild in Visual Studio. After the build, I see. And where is it? You're updating this directly. It's updating it where? It is updating it in shared. This sounds like a Western. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it out. This time we'll just go ahead. And I don't think this is the one I was doing it in. There it is. We'll just merge whatever it did. Make it happy. Cloud. So we'll do a little commit here. It wants our MP4s. Oh, don't move that. This. See, it wants to do our MP4s. These old ones. Whatever. Sure. Okay. Now the thing about content updates via from another branch is that generally I want to do everything through yeah, local changes if you're over in my merge. Oh, whatever. This is the stuff. Oh boy. All right. Content generally should be done through the pipeline tool and building it rather than updating the file directly. But because it's Claude, Claude is just like, I'll just update the file directly. What's the problem? Let's see what the problem is. So if we go in bin here, do I see it? No. I don't see the MP4 here. It didn't work. Because all it did is update the pipeline. If we go to the Windows bin, which is, I don't know why it would be using this. It's not there either. So for just the sake of trying, of just getting it there, I'm just gonna put it in. I don't know what'll happen. But we have the video. The video is present in content. So I'm just gonna copy it. I'm just gonna slap it in here. I don't care. And we're gonna do it in shared as well. Cool. I did it. I did a thing. Shout out. All right, so the project has things outside it. Discard. Now we're going to try to do it again. Build failed. Why? What? Is it gone? What happened to my looping video player? Oh, I need to add it again. Wait, this is copied the same crap he had before. Good. Because I copied over what it had before. And these were the changes I made to delete the errors. Good, good. We're right back to where we started. And remember, we didn't need this. Let's see if anything changed. I hate how it's showing that on the right side now. Enter. Still broken. It broke again. Why? The media was stopped immediately. By the way, it had something. What's the player state? The player state is playing, and get texture is null. We're gonna do this. All right, so here we have video. It did somehow find the MP4 because we copied it in. You can see it's looking in Windows. We don't want to look in Windows. We want to be looking in the shared folder for content. I think that's one of the big problems here, is that it's running there, but when it's loading stuff, it should be in shared. Regardless. It's finding the video. It's trying to play the video. And then the texture. It's immediately doing get texture. What does get texture do? It's trying to get the texture of the video, and it fails. Alright, this will be the last thing we do today. This is ridiculous. Today was a stream of failure. I had great hopes. I thought it would just work. An important thing, though. I saw that when it was attempting to get the content video, it was looking at the Windows bin folder, not the shared folder. The shared folder and project is what is to be used across all projects. This is what is getting updated and is what is connected to the monogame pipeline. In fact, the MP4 files directly to both bin files just to see if it would work. It did not. I don't understand why it's so easy to update and add sprites and fonts, but why video is problematic. Also don't understand why the pipeline tool isn't working for these videos, like for sprites. Should I re-add? Should I remove, re-add the videos via the pipeline tool? I don't like adding content directly to the content file. It should be regenerated based on the pipeline tool. There's a lot of words for it. Lovely. When you're doing development, whether you're working with a tool or whether you're doing it on your own, as with today, where we've been going for about 2 hours, the vast majority of time is spent in trying to figure out what went wrong rather than building out a new feature. So for here, it's a little bit summary because I think we're just gonna let it do its thing and call it a day. The main issue isn't that we have video files or that we have a method that can call them. It's that the video itself isn't being pulled into the content the same way as the sprites. And that when it attempts to call the video and run the video, it doesn't find the content to run. It's getting null reference exceptions, and there's confusion between the Windows project, which is supposed to talk to shared, and the shared project itself in terms of what dictates the content and what's being used. So this is one of the things that if you use different engines instead of monogame, some of this stuff's a lot easier to do. So what you're running into now is something that could be completely trivial in other game engines. But this is what we have. This is what I'm working with. So we'll see when it gets back to us. It's probably going to say something like, hey, try rebuilding this again. But we'll see. The goal, as you saw, is we're just going to show a different video. But tomorrow, when we get back into this, we're probably going to skip this. This might be something I just debug on my own. And we'll probably go to a new feature, like the tutorial that I wanted to do today. I need to think more about how I direct it for what I want the tutorial to look like. But again, I think it's just going to be a sequence of little screens or video back to back that you just teach the basic mechanics of the game. Most of this game I want to be taught just by playing. I don't want there to be hardly any tutorials. But just having a basic one, I think, would be nice. That's kind of it. I don't know how long it's going to think here. It's been a pretty good music channel. I'm impressed by the music that they have. There's so many different people who are like, I just want people to listen to my music. And they, are getting paid probably some tiny little amount by Upbeat. But they're allowing people to listen to it, to use it for different things. It's really cool. I don't know. Tune in tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow if you want to see this. I'm just going to let this run. It might take a little while for it to think of an answer. We're going to call it there. Cliffhanger. But that's it for today. We saw some interaction with Claude and did a lot of debugging. I'll be back tomorrow around 11 as we continue this. And next week, I have a couple ideas for the next game to play. Whether it's just going to be a straightforward game or something different. Maybe some speed running, maybe some wackiness. We'll see. But I'm going to call it right there. Again, thanks for everyone on Twitch and YouTube. We're checking in today and who are going to be watching this later. This is probably one of those ones that you want to just keep skipping ahead, but you won't know that until the end. Too bad. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's still doing stuff. Never mind. I'll check you guys tomorrow. As always, love you guys. You love you too.